The problem says, in what ratio should 20% benzocaine ointment be mixed with an ointment base to produce a 2.5% benzocaine ointment? All right, as we get this problem started here, we should note that it mentions that an ointment base here. When it says ointment base, you can assume that this has a 0% concentration of the active ingredient that's being mentioned in the problem. So this has a 0% concentration of the benzocaine ointment. So we'll keep that in mind as we do our alligation alternate procedure. So I'm going to set up our grid here. It says the target concentration is to produce a 2.5% ointment. So that's 2.5 is the target concentration. And it says we're going to use a 20% benzocaine ointment and an ointment base. So that's a substance that has 0% concentration of the active ingredient that is being discussed in the problem. So we're going to use something that has a 20% concentration, and then this ointment base that has a 0% concentration. So even if there's a 0% concentration, we can implement alligation alternate to solve this problem. All right, so I'm going to do my subtraction diagonally. 20 take away 2.5, end up with 17.5. And I'll subtract diagonally this way. 2.5 minus 0, that's going to be 2.5. Okay, and so here's basically our answer. Again, it's asking us what is the ratio. So the ratio is 2.5 to 17.5. Okay, and that's our final answer there. Now, of course, it's a ratio. We could reduce it like a fraction if you prefer to do that. 2.5 and 17.5 do have a common factor that makes it easy to simplify this. It has a common factor of 2.5 actually, so divide both of these numbers by 2.5 and you'll get 1 to 7. So any subsequent calculations you would need to use this ratio for, you could use either ratio. Now, of course, the first version of the ratio, 2.5 parts plus 17.5 parts, you'd be working with 20 parts. And then the 1 and the 7, you'd be working with 8 parts. But either way, doesn't matter which form of the ratio you work with, they will both get you to the same answers, regardless of which one you use. Okay. So, but again, this answer right here would be very sufficient.